If you've watched my video lesson on pointing vector and intensity, I think I mentioned that the power of the sun is about 3.8 times 10 to the 26th watts, and the intensity that it delivers to the earth is somewhere between 1,000 and 1,300 watts per square meter. So I want to show you an experiment that you can do at home with a few simple materials to try to measure the power of the sun. You need just a regular 3x5 index card and some cooking oil. Here I have some extra virgin olive oil. I've poured some of the oil into this cap, and I'm just going to take my finger and get it a little oily, and I'm going to make a blot. I'm going to smear a circle. What I'm making here is called a oil spot photometer. A photometer is any device that measures intensity of light, and it turns out you can measure intensity of light just with a little oil blot. I have another one that's pre-made that's already a little bit larger. Let me show you how this thing works. So if the intensity on that side of the note card is greater than the intensity on this side of the note card, then you notice the oil spot looks really bright and the index card looks really dark. If I rotate and now change the way it's lit, now the intensity on this side of the note card is greater than the intensity on the far side of the note card, because we're sort of in the shadows of the garage. So when that happens, then the oil spot looks dark and the card looks very bright. So there's a point where that transitions. Oh yeah, there it's, yeah, greater intensity in the background and less intensity in the foreground. And now more intensity in the foreground, less in the background. And so I can find a place, it looks like right about here, where it's transitioning between the two. So with it lit up like this, there's equal intensity on both sides of the card. Here, more intensity on the front side, there, more intensity on the back side, and somewhere right around here, equal intensities. So here's the experiment I'd like you to try. I've got a light bulb hanging from the ceiling here in my garage. Let me prop this up a bit. There we go. So now the other equipment I need is really just a ruler or meter stick. I'm going to turn on this light. And again, if I hold this really far out, then it's the intensity of the sun in the far background that's dominating. But if I hold it very close to my light, then the intensity of the light is dominating and the oil spot looks dark. So oil spot looks light, oil spot looks dark, and I'm just going to adjust it until I can't tell a difference with the oil spot. And then if I measure the distance at that point between the light bulb and my oil card, then I can record that value. I know the distance between this card and the sun. It's basically 1 astronomical unit. And so all I'm going to say is the intensities are equal to one another. I need to know the power of this bulb. And the problem is, all the bulbs in my house are LED. So they don't have a typical power rating in watts. I think this one's supposed to simulate something similar to like a 100 watt bulb. So I'll use that calculation as an estimate. So let's switch over. And I'll follow this video up with a video on how I can use that data to determine the wattage of the sun. But feel free to make your own and try this experiment at home. Really easy to do.